Hello YouTubers and random Doctor Who fans. I do realise I'm a little bit late because setting up live stream takes a longer time than you would think. Really is quite surprising, and I'm sorry about the really low frame rate. I'm going to have to look into this. So, the Doctor Who San Diego Comic Con 2021 panel for Series 13. I'm not entirely sure where the video is actually going to be because everything's a bit complicated for some reason. Hello Mana, how you doing? And we are going to minimise me, because I'm not that important. You're all here for Doctor Who, let's face it. Window capture, so there you go. Try not to show my stream key so you guys can steal stuff. I trust you guys won't anyway. Right, let's just resize this. Christ, that's not very good. Right, let's have a look. So what we've got... Ah, we got a trailer. There you go. Let's react to this trailer. I've not seen it yet. Oh, this could go better, couldn't it, guys? My God. Right, let's have a look. Whoa. Wow, that shot of the Doctor with the camera. Wow.
I'm the Doctor. This is Raz. This is Dan.
Oh, wow. Editing, by the way.
Hiya. You're hiding something. Get inside!
Wow. Get inside.
Any questions? No. See you soon.
Wow.
Get inside!
As usual. Wow. There's nothing to entice you in. Oh, mind you, they're just starting with the trailer, so hopefully there's more. Okie dokie. So, I don't know whether I'm going to sit here refreshing the Twitter page, but comment. I know you guys are watching. I know there's 6 people in the chat, so comment. Let's read them. It's out. Stream's health is pretty bad. Great. I really should switch these over because I genuinely cannot see a thing because my camera's right in front of it. I apologise for the crudeness of this live stream, guys, but to be honest, you're in a Mono Supreme live stream. What do you expect? We'll get professional one day. Just takes practice. So let's refresh the San Diego Comic Con YouTube channel. 2 minutes. Okay, they just uploaded them all in one go. Right, okay, here we are. We've got it. So 40 minutes, guys. We're going to be sat here for 40 minutes analysing the thing. But let me just readjust the video so you guys can actually see what's going on. That was good enough to me. Cool. Right, sit back, relax, and enjoy. I hope you guys can hear me, because I can't tell.
Hello everyone, I'm Melanie McFarlane, and welcome to Comic-Con at Home 2021, for this very exclusive Doctor Who Season 13 panel. The good news is that Doctor Who returns later this year with a season that's totally unlike anything that we've seen before.
In OBS,
and when I say that, I'm not kidding. We have some really huge reveals later on, so don't go away.
Huge reveals, so don't scroll to the end of the video, guys.
We also have some exclusive footage and images from Season 13. And guess what? You guys are the first to see this. I'm so excited for you. But first, let me introduce our amazing panelists. So first to join us will be showrunner, executive producer, Chris Chibnall.
John Bishop,
the 13th Doctor herself, Jodie Whittaker.
Oh, I love it. She's wearing a Spider-Man t-shirt. Multiverse. What was it called? Into the Spider-Verse?
Yasmin Khan. It's Mandip Gill, everyone.
I can appreciate that.
And I'm sure
does anyone else just laugh when they look at Chris Chibnall?
Will know he's boarding the TARDIS for the first time and joining the cast as Dan Lewis. A warm San Diego welcome to John Bishop.
Yes, please.
We're your own Hall H here, John.
I love the fact that I get a San Diego welcome whilst we're in Cardiff.
But they are not the only ones joining us today. We have another extremely exciting guest to reveal joining Season 13. And you may recognize this person from Game of Thrones. Who could that be? Could be a number of people.
Jason Momoa. But
you'll have to stay tuned and find out for sure.
I met Jason Momoa.
All right, let's jump in.
There again, bragging
now, at the end of last
season,
season,
really
the Doctor and
you got to brag to
parted
people you
ways
work with.
the fam. Graham and Ryan decided to go back to their old lives in Sheffield. And it was a beautiful ending, but also heartbreaking. So Chris, let's talk about all the changes that Team TARDIS is going to undergo.
Don't worry, I'm not going to dig everything. For a stance for people who've never seen our channel before,
she's laughing already.
I am kind of a bit moderate on the Chibnall era. I don't hate it, don't love it. I just couldn't really care all that much, but I don't know, I'll still watch it.
Who've been travelling together for some time, and we come in and meet them mid-adventure, and then they stumble across a man called Dan Lewis. That's all I'm going to tell you. That's much more than you thought, isn't it? But I can tell you that it's probably the big thing that we're going to be doing this year.
Let me know, guys, what you're most looking forward to in Series 13.
So every episode is a chapter in a bigger story.
Well, I would say the Sontarans, but I mean, given the treatment that Sontarans have had in the new series already, I mean...
Well,
am I really that excited?
Not a business
I mean, they look slightly better, but I never hated how they looked anyway in Series 4 onwards.
Of getting the show up and running, because there were times when
I always liked how they looked in Shakedown. It's probably a very unpopular opinion, but I always did.
This year, so everybody's pulled together.
I'm going to check the audio because no one's told me what it sounds like. So.
There were two ways you could go. You can go, we're just going to do lots of tiny episodes in one room with no monsters. Or we can throw down the gauntlet and go, we're going to do the biggest story we've ever done, and we're going to go to
if you're new here,
places.
Drop a like on the video, drop a subscribe.
Characters and monsters, and it's all going to be part of a bigger whole. I think it's definitely the most ambitious thing we've done since we've been on the series, would you say?
I like Jodie's shoes.
It's pretty
sick.
Epic and ambitious, and we do go to a lot of places.
And I don't even like shoes, so...
Yeah.
You don't realise until, because we're currently filming, so hence why we are allowed in this bubble without our masks and such things, because we're in our
She's so northern, it hurts.
It's felt really emotional to come back because we are the lucky ones that get to go to work, and then also it slightly changes it, doesn't it, to day-to-day filming in that way, but it's also meant that this feels so precious and so fun.
Sorry, it's just very easy to get lost in Jodie.
Come out of, and I think in that it's always a little bit method that, you know, whatever you're going through, you can bring into your character. So I feel that whatever
don't pick your spots, guys,
emotional challenges
we
go through, I'm lucky that I can throw that.
Come on, get to the thing.
For the Doctor.
All right, we're going to jump to John. Welcome to the cast.
Yes, an actual official John Bishop interview.
What's it been like to join this global phenomenon? What have the experiences been like so far?
Well, it's different than anything that I've ever done before. My day job is as a stand-up comedian, and I've done bits of acting. But this is, you know, it's an iconic series.
Oh, I love this man already. Well, I already liked John Bishop before anyway.
Than anything that I've ever done before. And I've also come into this family where it's different for me, because as Jodie was saying there, we have all the protocols, which mean that the people on screen are not wearing masks, but everyone behind the camera is. Now, I don't know them, so I come into this world where Jodie and Mandip know all of the crew and know their names, and I've literally just saw everybody's eyes. I've been working with people for the last few months where I've probably walked past them in the street, because if they see the whole face, it's a shock to me. There's people I've been working with since November, I've never seen the chin. So it's a whole different world to me, but what I have to say is, without sparing Jodie or Mandip the blushes, I've come into something where they're established, they're obviously significantly more experienced than me, but in a difficult environment, they set the tone. And it's been so good to come into a supportive environment where people are doing what they have to do to make the show work. And everyone, I was only speaking to a guest member of the cast today, and they said it's, you know, from other jobs that they've done, they feel like they're coming into a nice, supportive, warm environment where the focus is on delivering the show at the end, and everyone's pulling together, and there's no you know, genuinely, there's no egos, and that's a really, that says a lot about these two and the whole setup of what Doctor Who is.
That's fantastic. Where were you when you found out that you'd been cast?
Well, it was an interesting process because Chris met me pre-pandemic and said, we have a character, I think you might be good for it, would you be interested? And I was very keen, very interested, but I'd already committed to doing a tour. So we just couldn't make the dates work because I was meant to be on tour. So I unfortunately had to say no. And then fate and a global pandemic intervened. And then we phoned Chris up and said, does it still work? And fortunately for me, they said, yeah, but then I had to go through the casting process. So I had to do my first audition on Zoom, and then I had to come
Imagine
and
how
have
weird
a
that
day
is,
in
auditioning
Cardiff
on Zoom.
with Jodie on the set, which was quite awe-inspiring to see if it worked and if there was a gel, but also how it all looked on camera.
I let him into my TARDIS, didn't I?
She let me in, and then we have to do a few scenes together.
That's a pretty cool audition, that. I was in the living room jumping on my couch with iPhone wires.
I didn't audition.
Oh, is it?
Oh, there you go. There you go. Helicoptered in, bang.
Come in my box, there you go.
That's
wear
the
that t-shirt.
ego I'm talking about.
So, John, what was it like
We
to
don't hold
step
back
on
on
the
this channel.
TARDIS for the first time?
It's strange because it is so iconic. I mean, you know, who doesn't know about the TARDIS? Who hasn't got a vision of it? And obviously, for filming purposes, there's a couple, but then there's an actual door that you go into on the set in Cardiff, and you're in it. You're in that place, that thing that you've seen before, and it is quite. It's for me, it's quite emotional because our first week filming was all in the TARDIS. So I thought, you know, not only am I doing it, I'm not like building
Wouldn't it be
up
so
to
great
being
if you
on
just
the
shit
TARDIS.
talked
I'm
the
in from day one.
TARDIS?
It's brilliant.
It's like, mate,
you
it's supposed to be
do
a
feel
spaceship.
Like you're on something.
It's supposed to be this
significant.
crystal
And I
thing,
think
mate.
that, for me, as an outsider coming into the show, that's one of the things that I've had to get used to. The fact
No,
that
they
when we
definitely
film
improved it
on
in Series 12.
location,
Because Series
you know, there's
11,
paps
apparently
taking
they couldn't
photographs.
even
That
film
was
it
not
properly.
something I was
The
expecting.
camera crew were
But
all
one of
really
our
cramped and
first
stuff,
locations
which doesn't
we
surprise
were
me
in
because it was
Cardiff. It was
such a
night
cramped set.
shoot. Normally, if you'd ever film a
How does a
drama
set
in
designer,
night shoot,
like,
everybody's annoyed with you.
how does a set designer think, you know what, let's just make a set where the
Doctor
camera
Who,
doesn't
you're
fit?
filming overnight, all of a sudden there's a crowd there, and then we're looking
Great
at
job,
the crowd.
guys.
Some people have come dressed as Daleks and characters of the show, and I'm like, how did they even know we were here? And then to find out that we're here and have an outfit to put on to come
That's
and
the
watch
Doctor Who sausage rolls, John.
at 1 o'clock in the morning. That's all they can do.
Sausage rolls.
So, Amanda, Yaz is back, but she's had to say goodbye to Graham and Ryan. And like I said before, I was heartbroken. I can only imagine what it must have been like for Yaz.
It's different. The thing is, we had time.
Trying to say
we
nice
knew
things
they were
about
leaving
Chibnall's
way before
writing.
everyone else knew they were leaving. So we had that time. Like the last scene you saw with those guys was upsetting, wasn't it?
Because it was our last
It
scene.
was our last scene together, so it was upsetting at that time. Then we've gone through the pandemic and stuff like that. So, you know, even though we haven't actually seen each other for a long time and stuff, but it's nice to be on set and like still talk about
I didn't know she had a
always
tattoo on her
telling
wrist.
John how funny they were and stuff like that.
Oh,
Make you feel
great,
really
yeah.
small and stuff.
Really great comic timing.
Because you know, the thing is, I knew I was cast, obviously months before I started, and I spent a week with Bradley doing this thing called Soccer.
When does she
Aid.
not
So
look gorgeous,
I
though?
spent
That's
a
the
week with
thing.
him, talking to him constantly, and he must have thought, I didn't know you were a Doctor Who geek. I just kept on asking him about Doctor Who and asking him loads of stuff, and he must have been thinking, this is a bit strange. and then obviously when it became revealed, he phoned me up straight away and just said, you will enjoy this like nothing else you've ever done, and he was right.
This feels like a great time to see the new trio together for the first time. We have an exclusive image from the new
No,
season.
there's 4.
Let's have
You're
a look.
forgetting Chris. He pilots the ship.
Well, I think
Oh,
Jodie and
that's
Mandip
an
look
amazing
epic,
picture.
and I look like the bloke who plays darts with your uncle.
Yeah.
So
absolutely
we've been
perfect.
introduced to John, and Chris, we've heard a lot of rumors about the new season, but can you give us any information
I'm glad
about
we got a
what
comedian
other new
again.
characters will be
A comedian.
introduced?
See, okay, I'll give Chibnall this. He utilises comedians better than he
No,
did,
'cause there's a
better
lot
than
of them.
Moffat
I
did.
mean,
So there you go, Chib. Just have that.
I guess the thing to say
That's
is
like throwing scraps to an
we have a
orphan.
number of amazing guest actors joining us across the series, and quite a few of them recur across multiple episodes, which is very unusual for this show. Other
Just
than
thought it was a
that,
bit
I'm not gonna
silly,
tell you anything
running down
about them,
corridors.
To be honest, maybe there's one we can talk about.
Maybe one.
Poor
So I
Chibnall.
think it's
No
time
one's
to
gonna ever let that
reveal
go.
who that is. So have you guessed who it is yet from Game of Thrones? Here's some more hints. He's a musician. He's also an actor, obviously. Unfortunately, he can't be here today, but he has recorded an exclusive video for you all.
Oh, hang on.
So
Here we go, guys.
please
Come on.
welcome
Grab your
Jacob
popcorn.
Anderson.
It's Jacob Anderson.
I don't
here.
know who that is.
You guessed it, or you didn't. But if you didn't, surprise! I'm very excited.
Wait, hang
to
on,
be
was he the guy in
joining
the trailer?
Doctor Who season 13 later this year.
Oh, he's a nerd.
and
Look, he's got action
I
figures,
get to
so
play
we like
one
this
of my
guy.
favourite
We like him
people
already,
I've ever
so that's
played.
good. 10
Vinda.
viewers, guys.
And,
Say hello in the chat.
Yeah, I'm sorry I can't be there in Cardiff with
You guys are
with
awesome.
Jodie, Mandip, John, Chris. This is like a dream. This is a real life childhood dream to be a part of Doctor Who, and even more so to be in Doctor Who with Jodie and Chris, who I've worked with before, had a lovely time with. And,
There we go.
and meeting
Hello in the chat.
Mandip and John.
That's exactly what I wanted. I think that's the first time anyone's ever done that.
True. And I think we're all best friends now. This was probably the best first day on set I've ever had, because I got there and
What is this
we had
pink
to do
thing here?
some press photos.
That's what my
And,
eyes are just drawn to
and
this.
Right next to where they were doing the photos was the TARDIS, and was the door, and the door was closed. And I was like, I'm sorry, before we do anything, I just have to do this. It's like a big moment for me. And I walked through the doors of the TARDIS.
Come on, we want Tennant. Actually,
and
we don't want Tennant,
I
but
was
we
in
want
the
Tennant.
TARDIS. And I was like, I could feel, I don't know if anybody remembers this or understands this feeling. Like, I felt like I was 14 again, watching Doctor Who, like my Doctor Who for the first time.
Bring Maisie Williams
Just
back.
like,
That's what I say. That was
how
a
is
joke,
this
by the way.
real? And it's a real thing. It's a real place that you can go. Everything's real. I touched every single button on the TARDIS. So yeah, this has been a ride. This has been a proper dream of mine. So very, very excited. Not only did I get to go on the TARDIS and press all the buttons and flip all the levers and the switches, but I got my own ship, and my own ship had its own world of buttons and levers and switches that you could actually press and you could actually play with. And I was like, I'm home. This is where I've always wanted to
He's
be.
one of us, so we like him.
So that was like, I had lots of very amazing days. I've had lots of amazing days working on this, and it's the most amazing crew, and they've been amazing through a very difficult year for everybody, and getting to spend time with Jodie again.
Shout out to the
beautiful.
editors, though. I mean, it
Mandip
seems
and
like they had
John
to edit
are
about
just my
30
heart,
videos a
my
day,
hearts.
so...
And yeah, like all I have to say about working on Doctor Who is that it has been like one of the ultimate highlights of my career, and just full of really special, lovely people, and the props are as amazing as you'd imagine. The sets are as amazing as you'd imagine, but I shouldn't say too much more than that. But it's been an honor to play Vinda, and I can't wait for you all to see him and to meet him.
I love him so much.
He's the nicest human being on
And
the
he's
planet.
Yeah, yeah. But one of the things that he said there, which is something that I didn't appreciate until you're actually here on the set, is the art department and the worlds that they create. You know, we've got different lots, different studios, and you literally go in and you walk through the wooden frame and you're in a whole world that they've created. It's brilliant. The attention to detail is fantastic. I have to say though, Jacob was also present at my most embarrassing experience, not on Doctor Who, in my career. And he's the only one who was witness to it. We, again, without revealing too much, we had to do this moment where we were in the green screen studio and we had to be forcefully standing against an opponent. Let's say that. So we had to approach
Tim Shaw.
this point
Tim Shaw
within
confirmed.
some false rocks, and we had to stand in a forceful manner.
Oh, you know that's going to happen.
And Jacob's a young,
Tim
fit
Shaw's
man.
going to come back.
So I
Because of
walked
course he
up
is.
and I had to deliver me line, and I won't reveal the line, but let's say the line was, "Okay, we are all ready for action," something of the along the. And I walked on, and I got tensed up, and I went, "Okay, we're all ready for action." And something left me more than words, but I thought I would just plough on.
Chibnall
I
isn't
will
used to
plough
humour.
on and look straight in
Look how
the
awkward he
camera
looks.
because nobody knows, because nobody laughed. And Jacob was just stood next to me and went, "I ate that."
But he's got, Jacob's got like such a smiley face in his eyes. If they slightly go and you know he's about to smile and you really he's going, and he really kept it together.
He
But
kept it together, and I
honestly,
thought, I didn't know whether to say to the sound department, "Did anyone hear a fart?" Should we do it again, or just pretend? We'll all pretend it didn't happen. So there may be one episode where it sounds like a bomb's gone off. It's not a bomb.
So Chris, I think it goes without saying, but why was Jacob the perfect choice to play Vinder?
Yeah, well, I'd written for him before in Broadchurch, and obviously you'd worked with him there as well. He's a gorgeous actor.
Another case of, I know this
human being,
person,
as you can see
so
from that
they were
clip.
right for the role.
And obviously, everybody knows him from his work on Game of Thrones. Obviously, everybody.
So,
people know
John
him
Bishop,
from his
Slitheen
work as a
confirmed.
Musician as well, Raleigh Ritchie.
Wait, the Slitheen were in
so
Eccleston
I
episode.
was
So
thinking
does that mean
about
that
this character.
Eccleston's
He
coming
was
back?
the first name who came.
It's
to
a
mind. I sort of
conspiracy.
wrote it for him, and then
Right, how do you make a triangle?
pitched it to him, and begged him, and sent it to him, talked to him a lot, and he has that humanity you saw there, that warmth.
You heard it here
but
first.
He can also play an action hero.
Dan's going to be amazing if they let
and
John
he
improvise his lines.
can-
Yes,
He
please do.
makes you root for him, and he breaks your heart, and he's got the whole range. He's just brilliant.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, he's been so yummy to work with, hasn't he? I've just had the time of my life. You weren't on set one day and we were just chatting for about 7 hours. Oh, it was absolutely
I
brilliant.
got a video of one of the crew members, no, not a video, like a WhatsApp doing an impression of Mandip, going, Jacob was literally sat there while Mandip's going, and then I had that, and then I went that, and then I went there, and then I might go to gym, and then I might, and he said, Jacob's just sat there while Mandip was shooting his ear off. And you were like, we had such a lovely day.
That was the day he was like, I'm really, really tired.
He did.
He was so tired. We were both so tired and then just burst out laughing, but he's been such
Dan
good
Lewis.
fun. And like you say, like
Lewis is in
a lot
Doctor
of
Who
the characters,
confirmed.
unless they're companions, are not reoccurring, whereas with his character,
I wish I had a
he's been in quite
soundboard.
lot, hasn't
And then
he?
every
So
time,
it's like
yeah,
you've had
Lewis
a
is new
really good
companion.
chance
You were ahead
to
of me on
get
that.
to know each other, have a
But
laugh
imagine if I
and
had a
stuff like
soundboard
that.
and I'd be like, meh, 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 meh. Maybe I'll try and sort that out for the next one.
I think people are going to be curious to see what Vinder looks like, and we have an exclusive image. So let's have a look at
Sure, he
Jacob
looks like
Anderson
himself.
as Vinder.
Exactly. Look, imagine standing next to him and farting, having an accidental fart next to an action hero like that.
What would you say would be your advice for all the new characters joining the show, and of course for John as well?
I don't think I've
Obviously
ever
for John,
watched a
he's
full one
coming
of
in,
these
but
panels. If
he's
I'm being honest with you
coming
guys.
in, what was you looking like a darts player?
I wonder how much they get
But, like,
paid.
you know, but if you've been in a makeup chair since 4:30 in the morning, and this is your first day, and you're walking in, And you want those people to feel like whatever choice they want to make, this is the time to go
So
there.
I'm going to
Like,
try...
we play
Oh, I've got it
pretend
on
for a
auto
living,
exposure, of
and
course I
this
do.
is the floor
So for
to-
the next one, I'm going to try
to
and...
live
well,
out all
not a promise.
the,
I'm going to try and get an
you know,
actual headset or
all
something.
the bold
Or
and
a
creative
better microphone
and,
with an
you
arm
know,
which I can move so I can actually
suppose
sit back and watch the videos,
exciting
because my
and
back
nerve-wracking
is killing me
choices that
right
you
now.
can't
So
necessarily make when there's a limitation on genre, on period, on etiquette, on you know, on class. All that goes, and it's like, come and play.
Then what advice do we give them? I think we followed in the footsteps of Jodie, so it's like she says, it's such a fun environment, but I think that starts with Jodie. So more than giving them advice, it's just going to us, keep that up, you know, in the third year. Let it be a space where people can come in and have fun.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, it is. I mean, you know, without a doubt, the person at the top, who's Jodie, sets the tone. And for me, coming into it as well, you sort of feed off that. But you go into an environment where all of a sudden you're playing against these people who've been in prosthetics, so you've got these aliens or monsters, and then there's a cut, and then you sat down, you're having a cup of tea, and they're still in it. They're still there. The lips are still moving. And you're thinking, oh my God, I am
Oh, they're going to
actually
spoil it,
talking
aren't
to an alien now. And it's become normal because they're eating chips.
Wait, hang on. Are they
Yeah,
watching
that-
this at
but
the
it's
same
just-
time that I am?
just today, there was a
They're
moment
tweeting along
today,
at the same
remember,
time as I am.
when,
That's quite funny.
Jodie
yeah,
had
another
to
promo image.
stand up and was lining
Are they
up for
shooting
a
with
shot,
like
and she was
a-
there with the Sonic like that, she was on it.
a film
And
camera
I
or
just had to
something?
lean in and go, just remember you are a grown woman.
'Cause I mean, look how
This is
grainy
a
the picture is.
professional job.
I mean, it looks
It's
alright,
not
but it's
playing
weird.
out. Because that's what it feels like so much.
It's always nice to be on set and still talk
One
about them,
final
always telling
question
John
for
how
me.
funny they were.
I mean, we can tell.
God, this is why I don't follow
when
the
we've
official
spoken
documentary page.
before, it's been very
Cringe.
apparent that you're all very close.
But I mean, it's a
in real life.
demographic that's not
And
me,
that's one
so
of the reasons that this
of course.
particular iteration of Doctor Who is so very special, because you can
I'm
tell
a
that
pro,
everybody really
thanks.
genuinely likes each other.
that's not true.
So, what's it been like behind the scenes? And what would each of you say have been your favorite moments of filming season 13?
Am I allowed to jump in?
yeah, go.
So I can't obviously say where we were or what we were doing or who we were with, but we were filming with Jacob in a particular set that I think that picture is taken from, and it was
Then Matt Smith appeared out of
there was
nowhere.
other characters involved that we weren't necessarily, our characters weren't necessarily friends with those characters. That's a way of articulating
Could be the
that.
lighting.
And there ended up being a few weeks of epic scenes, but with a core group of brilliant actors who every time it cut, it was just a joy to sit with them. But then every time it was action, turnover, we were all doing things, even being able to say, doing things that we've never done before. We're now really
Simple
good
fix.
best friends for life.
You know, one of my things that I love is watching John, because he just loves it. Oh my God, it's such a joy to watch. Like sometimes, I mean, just today, didn't we? When you realised about the set, you just took a moment and went, "This is a set." I was like, "I do that."
Are they
too,
actually
like,
doing
3
that?
years later,
Are
I'm
they
like,
are they
"This isn't
finally shaking
real."
up the
I was like,
formula?
We were in a
Series 13,
building
all one
that looked
story.
an old building. We were on this, and there's an elevator shaft, and then I suddenly
Chibnall.
walked around the back of the elevator shaft and thought, oh, this isn't real. Someone's built this just for us to play on.
See, this is what
You
he
did a
does.
good
We were
one.
outside on a night shoot, like we'd met a
I can't say
monster.
anything. I like the Saranga conundrum, so
Old.
what can I say?
Yeah. An old monster.
Yeah.
And John was like, "Oh my
Oh,
God,
what was
this
this?
is so
Did
good." It was like
you spill the beans? What was that?
night shoot, like we'd met a monster. Old. Yeah. An old monster.
Yeah.
And John was like, "Oh my God, this is so good." It was like
Well, I mean,
12 at
we
night
already
and
know
it's
that
freezing. I was like,
all
"Yeah, John,
monsters
it's
are
really,
returning
really
anyway,
good."
so-
I mean, cut to 3 hours later, he was like, "Oh my God, how long are we going to be? It's so cold, it's so cold." But it's just so nice to work with someone that's so excited by the sets and the cross. Because we've seen loads of sets, costume. I still get really excited. But it's just so nice to see somebody else doing it with me.
For me, I think there's been so many moments like
14 viewers.
From the first day of filming.
You guys are epic.
Where we had a scene where the TARDIS was wobbling, and I was
we
that
thinking
giddy.
John Bishop's going to be
I
good?
threw myself through the air on the floor,
so.
and everyone, what are you doing? There's no stunt coordinator. And I thought, oh, isn't this what you do? You just jump around. So there's that, and I think, looking back at this, because of the challenges that everyone's faced to make it, I think it's a hell of a credit to the BBC, to Chris and the whole crew in Cardiff that they've pulled together to make it, because we're coming through this now and the pandemic has got a different view than what it did have, but we've been making this right in the worst of it, and that spirit of unity has been so apparent. But if there was, I
He's mine as well.
one moment that I
like
think of
Tales
in
and Cole.
the last, well, it's been now 6 months.
But then again, I just like the character of Ryan
I
anyway.
will probably pick
Proper chill.
to cherish. It was last night, because last night was the first time us three have been able to have a dinner socially away from work. We could sit down and we could be friends.
Mine is the brain of Chris
Chibnall.
Chibnall.
That away,
There you go.
because that'll last as long as
Wait,
this
there's
show
a
lasts.
brain between those two eyes?
That's beautiful. All right, here's the part that many of you have been waiting for. Fan questions.
Uh-oh.
So let's start with
That's not a
Samuel
good sign.
Johnstone, who begins by saying how amazing you all are and how much he can't wait for season 13. Following up with the question, what are you most excited to share with the fans this coming series?
I'm excited for our amazing Whovians to see some incredible interactions with old monsters.
Oh.
Nicked your answer!
Yeah, because it's so, that part is just so
Well,
good.
I've already said it, you gotta say
No,
it.
I'm not. I'm going to elaborate on it. Hi, Sam. I'm going to just say it's so, it's so special to work with new monsters that we're the first people to interact with these monsters and old monsters.
They're still
but
filming
this one
Cardiff.
in particular, I'm so excited.
They film wherever they can afford.
For me, what I would say is where I think's different, because obviously when I got the part, I went back and I've been watched all the previous series and stuff. What's brilliant is that story that's going through. So you end an episode, and I know in previous series there's been sometimes a double episode or something.
You know what's
but
going to happen? They're not even going to reference the timeless children.
On a
What makes me say that?
point where you
It's
think,
just one of
what's
those
gonna
things.
happen,
It's just
what's
so
gonna happen?
typical
And
of this
think
era.
that if I
Oh, I
was a
mean,
fan, that would be the thing that will
Post-Capaldi
make this
kind of-
series so different. To
Oh,
the
does it really
previous
matter?
ones.
Oh,
So
no.
lots of cliffhangers coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
Is that
cliffhangers
right?
this
A lot
year.
of
Oh,
unanswered
my.
questions.
Yeah,
You're
Yeah.
the king of the cliffhanger, I am, bloody hell.
we'll find out, won't we?
So stressful. It's stressful. It's so stressful reading them. I thought, oh my God.
Yeah, there's a couple of my favourite cliffhangers we've done
Yeah.
this year, I can think.
Oh,
Yeah.
Exciting.
I think you'll know.
All right. Our next question, and I'm going to have to take a moment with this because it's very specific. So it's from Twitter at Keely348-22440.
Oh, that Keely.
That's Keely. If you were to switch places with any character, past or present, who would it be and why?
I'm very tempted to scroll through at this
I'm gonna
point,
say Sasha's
but I'm going to hang on in there.
Oh,
You can have
just
it.
because it's so different to my character, and I don't know. I love Sasha. I love the way he plays it. I loved watching him and
Does it auto
the way
refresh?
he changes things and the way he works and stuff. But also just the characters created and the evilness and when he was the softness to him. And just because his worlds are like away from Yaz and anything I've ever been able to play, I think I'm definitely going to say the Master.
I think I'm going to nick slightly, but I'd say Missy. But for similar reasons of it's just having that, it's being within
I
the
won't do
same
that.
world, but being able to explore no, I can't exactly, but just an energy that Michelle has such an amazing energy, and there's that, and the storylines that were explored. So yeah, so because you nicked Sasha.
I didn't
go
nick
Missy.
Sasha. I said Sasha. And she,
I think I would have to say Graham, because they both really love Bradley Walsh.
Well, Chris, what about you?
Rory Pond. I'd be Arthur Darvill.
All right, next question. Adam Thompson wants to know, are we going to be in for any real shocks this series?
Yeah, come on.
It'd be rubbish if we said no.
No, it's very vague. Yeah, of course you are.
When obviously the scripts come as Chris finishes them, so you don't start the series knowing what's happening. You sort of start and pick it up as they get revealed and just before you play them. And there's been so many surprises that I never saw coming, not at all. So I think there's definitely some shocks.
Anything you want to say, Chris?
Literally nothing.
I had to go.
Yeah, no, you keep going.
Tom Bowen wants to know, on a personal level, what does it mean to you to be part of the Doctor Who universe?
Well, I guess for me, it's have a job where you can play in the world that you loved as a child and as an adult, and then you combine that with what you've done as a profession, and you work with these people, and you work with the heads of department, the crews, everybody on the show, the post-production team. It is like the greatest teamwork I've ever been involved in, and then it's
There's a big surprise.
a thing that you love from when you
cast member you've
know,
never
when I
heard
was
about.
4 years old. So that's it. Like, it's an incredible privilege. It's incredibly emotional.
Ring,
I think
ring,
particularly
ring
this
with
year,
the
and getting the
bell.
show up and running again, and everybody's efforts. You know, there are people coming in at 2:30, 3 a.m. in the morning to get ready for us to film, and it's
Almost
incredible.
forgot I was
So
on a stream.
it's really emotional, and I think it feels like we're so excited.
Come on.
It's sort of everything, really.
I think what you saying about the kind of being a fan, and then
I don't really get why
you
there hasn't been
are
any
in
like
something
publicity
that
images
is
for the
so
Sontarans
precious
yet, because
to us
everybody
as an
knows.
individual, but
I mean,
you
they were
are
ahead of it
that
in series 12
5-year-old
with the
every
Jadoom,
day,
but for some
because
reason with this series,
this
they're kind
is
of just not saying
a
anything.
privilege, and then you see
Because it's
how
not
it
like it's going to
affects
spoil it
people
or
and
anything,
how it
because it's
reaches
already been
people
ruined
and
by the
fans
DWSR. So
are
if we
out
get a really
there
nice
and they're loyal,
promo
and
image of
like
those
John said before,
Sontarans,
you know, you're on
then maybe
set
people
and
can
it's
start making
really
fan
late
art and
at
stuff,
night
and you know,
someone has taken
start
the
having fun
care
before the
to
series
turn
comes
up
out.
in the best cosplay they could, you know, in the middle of the night, just to
Like,
see
why don't
the
we
thing
have
they love. And we don't know why they love it. It could have been
Why do they
a
do
moment
this?
with their grandma when they were younger, or it could have been just like
The thing
an
is,
image
none of it
that
really
got them hooked.
works.
And
Like,
for
people
us,
think
we
marketing
have
like
that
this
now. We're
works,
the
but
kid-
none
we're
of
the
it has really
fans,
convinced me to
we're the
go out
Whovians,
and buy the
we're
Blu-ray of Series 11 and
so
Series
lucky
12.
to be able to have an emotional
Because like
connection,
the
not just for us
marketing
having this
is
journey,
just
it
being
doesn't
incredibly
become
tedious,
insular or
that
in
it makes
any
me
way
give less of a shit each year.
internalized. It's all about
What are your guys' thoughts on the
inclusivity and
marketing for
sharing, because
Doctor
the
Who
whole
nowadays?
thing is about us doing this to reach those guys, and we are all on something that goes before us and beyond
I'm going to start skipping through.
ever done. So in the
I tie that you pandemic realizing with that before every
I think most when you did every do it, you know, because
I'm excited too. Seen this yet? It's the trailer.
always be grateful for.
Here's the moment that you've been waiting for.
Right,
You guys
okay.
seen this yet? It's the trailer.
Or is this the one I've already seen?
Look
Well,
how
you'll get to see
excited.
it in
I'm
the full
excited
screen
too.
now, so.
You ready to see it?
Yeah.
No, we've already seen it. Fine, let's watch it again and break it down. I hate the style guide.
I'm the doctor. This is Raz. This is Dan.
No way.
Hiya.
Anamorphic lenses.
Any questions? No. See you soon.
I wasn't expecting that.
No.
Season 13 of Doctor Who is going to come later this year. In the US, it will be premiering exclusively on BBC America and AMC Plus. And remember that past seasons are available to stream on HBO Max. In the UK, Doctor Who Series 13 will be premiering on BBC One with Series 1 through 12
Yeah, it is
available
Malcolm
on
Mandy.
BBC's iPlayer. I'm Melanie McFarland. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe and see you soon.
Thanks so much for watching, Amy.
Well done. Thank you.
Wow, that was really worth my time. Riveting, inspirational, mysterious, swarm. The panelists each described Series 13 in one word. Is this whole stream just going to turn into me roasting the Doctor Who Twitter just for being an absolute cringe fest? Man, what was the whole thing about people seeing David Tennant and Alex Kingston? What's Todd in the Hole of Tea? There you go. That's about as... That's way more exciting than Series 13. You know what? I'll stop the stream, and then all of a sudden there'll be like this massive, announcement or something like that. So anyway, people getting the hopes up. We do it every year. Up to 2. Get rid of that. Maximize me. Hey guys. We're the BBC and we'd love to waste your time. It's the same every year. Publicity photos. Just some publicity photos. I'll keep this one up because I thought there was a couple of funny bits, especially when Jodie invited John Bishop into a TARDIS. Oh, I love that bit. God. Coming soon to the review of Death Store. Where is that shirt? Not out. I wonder whether they still have merch on the review of Death Store. Guys, I can see that there's 8 of you in the stream. Say hello. You guys usually aren't this shy. Where's Dalek Apocalypse? Where's Harry Alpha? Where's... No, I can't remember. Oh, hang on, what am I doing? Review of Death, Redbubble. I mean publicity photos of the monsters, because we didn't even get publicity photos of the defense drones, did we? We got like this really short teaser. Just something. Anything. And no, the review of Death, the Redbubble store, is not open. Come on. Where is it? No. Never mind. When you rely on natural lighting as your light source, it doesn't go well. Anyway, we are we're going to exit now. I can tell you guys are disappointed. I'm not, because I didn't